We're reading Rebbe Nachman's wisdom. We're on his praises, part 7. The Rebbe devoted every available moment to his sacred studies. He spent much time studying the Talmud, in the Shulchan Aruch, and the Torah in the Ein Yaakov, and the mystical books of the Zohar, the Tikkunei Zohar, and the holy writings of the Ari, and also delved into many other sacred works, especially those involving Musar. The Rebbe said that his father's library contained all small Musar books, that he went through every one. He also spent much time with the Reshit Chachma, stating that he reread this remarkable work countless times. The Rebbe's unique expertise in all of the sacred literature was obvious. He was particularly unique in his understanding of the Torah, the Ein Yaakov in the Ari's teaching, in the Zohar and the Tikkunei Zohar, to the point that literally nobody could be compared to him. He was fluent in the entire Torah. He could quote anything in the sacred book as if the book were open in front of him. It was like a table set before him. When he could see everything and choose what he desired. The entire scope of our sacred literature was like this, standing ready before his mind's eye, to be used whenever he desired. This can be seen to some extent in the Rebbe's writings. 8. The Rebbe told us that all his studies required great effort. When he began to learn Mishnah as a young child, he did not understand it. He wept and wept until he was able to understand the Mishnah. Later, when he studied more advanced works, he again found himself unable to comprehend them. Again he cried bitterly until he was worthy of understanding. This was true even of such esoteric studies as the Zohar and the writings of the Ari, where understanding came only after long and bitter weeping. He said that when he began to study any work, he did not understand it. It was very difficult for him, and he could not grasp its straightforward meaning. This greatly distressed him. His studies required prodigious effort, but nevertheless he studied a lot by constantly encouraging himself. He achieved it all through his prayer and weeping. 9. The Rebbe engaged in many fasts, even while still in his teens. He fasted from Shabbat to Shabbat many times. There were occasions when he fasted from Shabbat to Shabbat twice in succession. Although the Rebbe was a child of delights, raised in comfort, he was very thin. Still, he would disregard himself completely, fasting and mortifying himself in every possible way. Once he fasted from Shabbat to Shabbat 18 times in a single year. 10. The main way the Rebbe attained what he did was simply through prayer and supplication before God. He was very consistent in this. He would beg and plead in every way possible, asking that Hashem have mercy and make him worthy of true devotion and closeness. What helped him most were his prayers in the language he usually spoke, which was Yiddish. He would find a secluded place and set aside time to express his thoughts to God. Speaking in his own language, he would beg and plead before God. He would make use of all sorts of arguments and logic, crying that it was fitting that God draw him close and help him in his devotion. He kept this up constantly, spending days and years engaged in such prayer. His father's house had a small garret that was partitioned off as a storehouse for hay and feed, and he would hide himself, chanting the Psalms and screaming quietly, begging God to make him worthy of drawing himself close to him. Besides this, the Rebbe made use of every published prayer he could find. He went through all the books of prayers available, and there was not a single prayer that he did not repeat countless times. He recited them all. The Psalms, the Sharei Tzion, and the prayers printed in the large Sidurim. He poured out his heart in every possible prayer and supplication, even those printed in Yiddish for women. Not a single one was omitted. The Rebbe also had the custom of reciting all the supplications following each day's Mamadot. He would say the prayers for all the 7 days of the week at one time. He also had a practice of chanting only the verses in Psalms that speak of the prayer and the cry to Hashem. He would go through the entire book of Psalms in one stretch, saying only these verses and leaving out the rest. Beyond all this, the main thing was only his own prayers, emanating from his heart in his own language. He would pray and argue before God, making up petitions and arguments as he went along. He would beg and plead that Hashem make him worthy of true devotion. Prayers such as these helped the Rebbe achieve his greatness. We heard this explicitly from the Rebbe's holy lips.